Hello friends, this is the third tutorial of data science. Here also we will be talking about Python basics, since we are using Python for our data analysis and data science, so that is why I am considering some basics of Python. In last tutorial also we saw some basics of Python like arithmetic operations, those things we did, but here we are going to cover the following topics. First one is Python collections, then decision making statements, looping statements, and sorting. So these are the basics you have to know in Python. So what is Python collections? In Python collections we have the following four collections. So first one is list, tuple, and we have dictionary, and then we have set. Now let's see what is list. List is the same as array in other programming languages. If you remember in C, C++, Java, there we have something called array. An array is collection of elements or items or values. Here we have something called list. That list is used for collection of elements. So it is the same as array, but it has so many facilities, and it is supporting so many functions and functionalities are there which are supported by list and which are not supported by array. So we will be using this list for our for storing the values or listing the values. The second one is called tuple. This tuple is also collection of elements or values, but which type of values? Immutable values, means once the values are defined, that values we cannot change them. Means in the runtime we cannot add, multiply, or we cannot extend the tuple, we cannot remove the value in the runtime. So those things are not possible, but that can be done here using the list. The next one is called dictionary. So dictionary is also collection of values, but not only values, keys with values. So keys plus values, that is called dictionary. But here also one point you remember is the keys are immutable. The values we can change, but once we define the keys, so the keys will remain the same and they are immutable and we cannot change them. Next one is called set. So set is also collection of values, distinct values, means it is not accepting repeating values. If we have a list of 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3 are the elements already there. Second time you cannot add those three numbers. We can add the remaining values, but you cannot add the same values. That is why it is called distinct values. So that cannot be added. And we have some function here which is used for creating a default dictionary, and that is called counter. So counter is used to count the words in a text. So if we have a text like here, this is a text here, this text is considered and it is counted, each word is separated and each word is assigned a value, like it is assigned a value, is also assigned the value 1, order is assigned a value 1. So each and every word is assigned values, on those values will be added. So it will convert the string into a dictionary which has keys and values. The keys will be the words and the values will be the number of their repetitions, how many times that word is repeated. So for converting a text into a dictionary, we will be using this counter. It is important function that we'll be using. Okay, the next thing is here decision making statements and looping statements. So decision making statements, these are the statements which are used for testing the conditions, or for example if we want to take a decision whether A or B, so we will be using these statements like if else statements, which case is there, if you remember. These are called decision making statements. These are the basics, so you have to know these basics. We will be using them in data science for data analysis. Okay, looping statements are also required here. Looping statements are used to do an action repeatedly. until the condition is true, or until that specified iteration number is true. So that number of times it will be executing. Example is here like while loop, we have for loop, they are used here. And then the last topic we will be discussing in this tutorial is sorting. So what is the sorting? Sorting is used to arrange the values in some order, like maybe either in ascending order or descending order. The values will be arranged. So why we are arranging the values? In that if you are arranging the values, so access will be faster there. We can access the values in faster manner. So the default values will be arranged in ascending. If you are changing it to descending, that is also possible, and we will be doing it. And here practically if you are seeing. So Python collections, we say we have list, we have tuples, we have dictionary, and we have here set, and then counter function, which is not a collection but it is a function, predefined function, which is used for creating default dictionary. Now let's see one by one here. The first one is list. So list is represented here in Python using this square brackets. If you are creating a list, we are using the square brackets for creating a list. So here I have created a list called, the name of list is fruit, and I have used here square bracket opened, and here it is closed, and I have put here some number of values, and they are separated by comma. So since all of these values are the same, they are all string or characters, we can say, so it is called homogeneous list. The values are the same. So here the points you have to remember is these values have indexes. So the first index for this value is 0. For this one, the same as array what you studied. So 0, here it is 1, 2, 3, 4. The values of list also can be accessed using the indexes or only by using the name of the list. Here see, I am accessing a value by index. So 3 means what? It is 0, 1, 2, 3. So orange is an index 3, so it will display only orange. So I am accessing the value through index, but here I am printing the whole list. It will be displaying all the values of the list. See the second list here I am creating. The second list is items or item. Here I have a string, and then I have an integer value, and then I have a float value. So that is why it is called heterogeneous list. It is not homogeneous because we have different values here, but here all the values are the same. That's called homogeneous, and I am printing the values here. In list, we can create another list within a list, that is called nested list. For example, here I have created first a list, and within this list I have created another list with 2 elements. I have another list here with 3 elements. I have another list with 4 elements, and this is a single value here in this list, and I am printing them. So let's see the result. So here I am accessing the value by index. So it was 3. So in third index we have the value orange. It is printed. So here I have printed the whole list. The whole list is printed here, and this is homogeneous list, and this is our heterogeneous list, and this is my nested list, a list within another list. So the operations we can do here, the first operation, let's see here, it is like using for slicing. Slicing means we can use them through indexes. We can use them like through slicing which numbers we want or which values we want to print, access, or towards the values. So here you have to remember, here is 0 index, and this one is size minus 1. If I want to print all the values of the list, see, I say starting index, and then colon you have to put, and then ending index. If I put here like this, no starting and no ending, it means the whole list I am printing. It is taking the default values. So the default value is 0 here, and this one is size minus 1, and it is printing the whole list here. But in second statement here, I say, okay, you start from 0 and go up to 4. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it prints this much numbers, not all the numbers. And third statement, I said, okay, you start from 2 and go up to 5. It is not taking 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 2. It is starting from here and goes up to 5. But one thing else here which is important, and in array, if you remember in C++, the indexes were positive numbers and they are integers, but here we have negative also. So the index for this one is -1 if you are starting from the end side. So this is -1, this is -2, and this is -3, and it goes like that. What does it mean here if I say -5? You start from -5. Okay, -5 means what? This is -1, -2, -3, -4, and this one is -5 if you are starting from this side. So you start from -5 and go up to the last element. So it is starting from here and printing all the values. Here I say, okay, start from a positive value 4. Okay, it is starting from here, maybe for this one. Okay, then it goes up to -2. -2 means what? This is -1 and this is -2. It is starting from here to here. Let us execute and see the result. And this is the result. It is printed. Here I am printing the whole values, this one. Then some values here, like from 0 to 4, from 2 to 5, from -5 to last element, from 4 to -2 means here. It is printing the values. So as we said, a list is dynamic. We can do many operations in the runtime. Like while I'm running, I can append a value to the list. See, the list is X, the list of, this is the list name X, and I say, okay, you append what? 100 to that. So what happens here? Adding an element, X value will be changed. So here we have how many values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values are there. So the values becomes 10 here. The last value will be 100. Then again see here, I say y is equal to X, means that list with 10 values plus means concatenate with that these 3 values. But one thing you have to remember here, these values will not change the list. They are just concatenated and the result is stored in y, and X value will not be changed. The 10 values are there. But if I'm using this function extend or append, the original list also will be changed. Here again I say that X already has how many values? 10 values are there. 9 plus 100, so 10 values. So again I am extending X, which is my list, by 3 values, 100, 200 and 300, and I am printing X, and here I am printing Y, and let's see what is the result. And I have found here the maximum of value in the list. So the list is printed here up to here 100. It is this function. 100 is added here. So again here I extended X by 3 other values. So the original list is changed. Now anywhere if you are using X, the value is changed. It is not that list, the first list which is created here. The values are changed. It is dynamic. The list is changed. The value of y, it is printed here. And we can use any functions like you studied before, like arithmetic functions, sine, cosine, we have tan, and we have maximum, minimum, round. Those functions, arithmetic functions, we can apply any of them here. Like I have used as an example max to find the maximum of values in this list. So it is displaying me 300 because in that list of X we have the maximum value 300. Some other operations, like for example we can use n operator if you want to check whether a value or an item is there in the list or not. So for that we are using n operator. I say n, you check whether n this y we have 20 or not. If it is there, so the result is true, otherwise it will print false. For example, if I run the first one, I check whether 400 is there in X or not. 400 is not there in this list, it will return false. Okay, the next collection here we have tuple. In tuple, you are not using the square brackets, you are using the parentheses. So here you open the parenthesis, the same like array. Okay, I have used open the parenthesis, and here I have closed the parenthesis. So the values I have put, and the values are separated by comma. Whether you are using parentheses or without parentheses, also you can create a tuple. So two tuples I have created. Okay, tuple 1 is equal to 4 and 5, tuple 2 is equal to 3 comma 3, and I have printed both the tuples, and let's see the result. So these are the results. Okay, let's compare it with the list. So this X is a list, it has two elements, and Y is a tuple. It is not a list, it is a tuple. We said tuple is immutable, means the values cannot be changed in the running time, but in list we can do that. So this is index 1, and this is index, the index for 1 is 0 and the index for 2 is 1. So if I say in the list go to indexed 1, means this position, and you store that or replace that dynamically, it will be changed to 10, and it will print here the value of X and Y. Okay, see both the okay, list is printed and tuple is printed. The value of list is changed. It was 2, now it is changed to 10. But whether it is possible using tuple or not, let me activate this. If I say you go to Y, which is this one tuple, and I say you go to index 1, this is 0 and this is 1, you change that to 20, what it says? See, it says tuple object does not support item assignment. So this is not possible because it is immutable, you cannot change the values dynamically. But if it is list, it was possible, as I showed you here. So the same operations what I mentioned there for list, like you can find the sum, maximum, minimum, length, count, you can find like sine, cosine, all those operations, arithmetic operations, predefined functions. You can use like mean, you can find the median, mode, standard deviation, all those functions you can use them very simple, whether it is list or it is a tuple. Okay, see, yeah, the last one is executed and it says okay, it has two values. I say okay, find the length of Y, it has two values, it is showing me this. If I comment this, it will be showing me this one, the maximum value is 2. If I comment this and again execute, it will show me the result of first function. It is showing okay 3, because 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. You can find the maximum any function, you can use predefined functions here. Okay, let's see the third collection, which is called dictionary. So what is dictionary? Dictionary is also collection of elements or values, but here each value has a key plus value, which is called item. So here, and it is represented by using this flower brackets. These are called flower brackets. Okay, we are using them, or we can use this function for creating a dictionary. Okay, dict, open the parenthesis and close, it will create a dictionary for us. So this is the name of my dictionary, employee, and in this dictionary I have put Ali, this is the key and this is the value. Maybe this is the age of that person. Okay, Julia, and this is the age of, and this is Scott, age, and this is Apu, and this one is the value. So they are separated by key, and values are separated by colon. So both are called the item. This is called the key and this is called the value. This is called the key, this is called the value, and both key plus value is called the item. Let me print it here. Yeah, it is printed, key plus value, item, this is key, this is value. Okay, individually if you are printing them like this, see, I say okay, go to dictionary and you print only the items. Items means what? Key plus value. Okay, go to the list and print the keys only, or go to the list and print only the values. So the items are printed both in the form of tuple. Okay, this is the second item, this is the third item, and this is the fourth, the last item. But here I say only keys, you print only the keys. So these are the keys, the names, Ali, Julia, Scott, and Apu. And again I said the last one, this one, you print only the values, not the keys. But here it is printing the values for me, not the keys. For doing some operations, whether on keys, based on keys, or maybe based on values, or based on items, you can separate them like this. Okay, if I want only items, I store the only items in this variable, keys in this one, and this. For example, if I want to check this item, because we said key plus value is called item, so the whole item I am going to check within that dictionary whether it is there or not. If I do this, it says yeah, this value or this item is there, because it was there. If you remember, see, it is here. But if I say okay, you go and check only the name like Ali, whether it is there in the keys, yeah, okay, sorry, keys, Ali is in the keys. Okay, it is showing me false. Sorry, it is not is, it is in. Okay, so it is true because Ali is there. Ali is there, and it is showing me yeah, it is there. If I say Ali is there in values, no, Ali is not there in values. In values we have only the numbers. It is not there. It is showing me false. And instead of in, you can use not in, and this time opposite of that, it will show me true. Okay, see, dynamically we can change the values of dictionary also, but not the keys. Keys you cannot change, the values we can change. See, I am adding a new item in the dictionary. I update it to this item. Okay, Rafi, and I put the values here. Okay, the list, the dictionary is updated and the value comes here. But if I say, okay, is it possible this one? You go to the dictionary, this key, and you change the value. Means you come to this key and change 25 to 27, whether it is possible or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's possible. It is changing. Again, if I do, yeah, it is changed. But you cannot change this one or this one. That's not possible. The values we can change. The keys are immutable. Okay, we can create nested dictionary also, friends. See here, I've created another dictionary called student, and this student I've created, okay, it is dictionary. It has the first item, this one, register number, it is 100. But the second key, if you see, it is name, it is again another dictionary. So this whole dictionary is considered as a value for this key, because I have used here colon. So I say name, which is key, has this value, the whole dictionary. Okay, name, first name is Ali, middle name, it has no middle name, and last name is equal to, for example, Samadin. And the third item here, it is age, which is equal to 30, and see here marks. Marks is again a key and it has a value. So what is the value of marks? Again, it is another dictionary. And here I say, okay, Java is equal to, this is the subject and this is the marks. This is the subject and this is the marks. And here not only the dictionary we can use, but we can use the list as well. I say teacher, so it is a key, and colon, instead of dictionary, this time I am using a list. So in list I have put some values like Tulsi, Prakash, and Matif. If I print them, see, okay, this is the list, register number, the name, everything is printed. If I want to see individually, I say, okay, you go to this key and print the value for that. So this is the key, so the value is 100. And again I say, okay, you go to this key you go to this key, and in that key, if I don't put this one here, it will print the whole this, because this is considered as a value, it will print all first name, middle name and last name. But I say no, you go there and print only last name. And teacher is a list here. Okay, this is the key, and the value for teacher is a list. So that is why I say you go to teacher key and you print 0 index of that, which is equal to Tulsi. So it is printing. If I do like print them, if you want to print all, otherwise the last statement will be printed. So if you want to print all, you do it like this. Yeah, it is 100 and it is Samadhi, because we said last name you print, not middle name, not first name, and you print this. If you want to print, okay, second, it will print, because this is 0, this is 1 and this is 2, it is printing motif. If I remove this from here like this, what will happen now? It will print the whole value, because I have used a key name, and we want, this is the key and this is whole, consider as a, okay, as a value for that. Okay, printed that, execute this. So it is printing me the whole value. Okay friends, let's see here. Let's do some other calculations or operations on dictionaries. For example, see here, I have created a list of like word count programs. If you are writing word count programs, we want to find how many words are there in a document or how many words are there in a text. So for that reason, we are using that. So this is my document. In this document, I have these many words. You consider these as the words. So I have created a dictionary here, and I created a for loop, and I say, okay, for word is equal to the document, and here I say if word is already there in the document. So what you are doing, you just count the number of that. If it is not there, the word is not there, you assign the value 1 to that. So for example, A is here, first time it is assigning 1, second time whenever it is coming, it is not assigning 1, it is incrementing it by, it becomes 2, it becomes 3. But if it comes to D, D is not repeated, it is assigned the value 1 here. Okay, it is converted to dictionary, and let's say, okay, A is equal to 3 times it is repeated, B is 3 times repeated, C is 3 times repeated, D is repeated once, and E is repeated once. The same thing. Okay, now see, if you want to delete the whole dictionary, the keyword this one is used, clear. If you do that, so the dictionary is removed, the values are all clear. Now let's see this one, set. So what is set? Set is also collection of values, but distinct values. They are not repeated. So I created a set here, S, and I am adding the values in it, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am printing them 1, 2, 3, 4, the values are there in the list. But here if I say, okay, again add 4, whether it is possible? No, it is not possible, because 4 is already there, it is not accepting that. See, it is not accepting, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, because 4 was there, it is not taking duplicate values. So if I remove that and put 6, and this time it is accepting. But if I put again 3, it will not accept, because it was already there, it is not accepting. The same operations we can do on sets also, like you can find the maximum, minimum, those operations. So see, if I check whether 4 is there in the list or not in the set, so it says, yeah, true, it is there. Okay, counter was a function, as I said. This function is used to convert a list into a dictionary, like word count. First it is counting, the words are considered as a key, and the values are considered as a values. The number of words, how many times it is repeated, it is considered as a value for that. So here the list, this counter function is within this collections. First I am importing from collections, import counter, and then I say, okay, counter, you put the document. What is document? Document is this one here. This is my list. I give the name of my list to this counter function, and it is doing the same task. what we did for this program here. But instead of writing that much code, only one statement I have written counter, and I put the okay, A is repeated 3 times, B is repeated 3 times, and that. Okay, decision making statements. So decision making statements, we said they are used for testing the condition, checking conditions, or making decision whether A or B, if, else, these things. They are the basics, you have to know them. So I have written a simple program here. I am accepting an integer from the keyboard and checking whether it is 0, greater than 0, equal to 0. Here the point you have to remember, the colon you have to remember, the indentation you have to remember, and it is not like C++, else if, it is not else if, but it is elif. This point you have to remember. If I am executing, so accept the numbers at 10, so it is saying it is a positive number because the first condition is true, so it is printing this. If it was like, for example, 0, the second becomes true, so it says 0. Another real life program I am using here, I have created a list here, marks. So sum of that I want to find an average of that, and based on that I will calculate the grade like this. If the average is greater than or equal to this much, or less than or equal to this much, it should show us the grade is equal to distinction. If it is in this range, it will show us grade is equal to A, grade is equal to B or C. So now see, the total marks becomes this much, the average is this much, and grade becomes this much because 79 is in this range. It is in this range. Or we can create one if inside another if, which is called nested if. Here I have 3 values, I want to find the largest of them. So one if inside another if, so it is finding me the largest of them. It is called 30. Okay, looping statements. So looping statements, we said they are used for repeating an action. So here while loop is used, x is equal to 0, and I will loop until the condition is true. Here I put the condition until x is less than or equal to 10, and up to that you increment the value of x and you print the values for us. So it is printing all the values to that one. Here I have used for loop, and I say for x is equal to in this range. This range starts from 0 to 9. So from 0 to 9, if it is equal to 3, so you continue, means you don't print that, you again jump to the for loop. If it is equal to 5, you break, it means you come out of the loop. So what will be the result of this statement? So 0 will be printed, 1 will be printed, 2 will be printed, 3 will not be printed, because if it is 3, so 3 is equal to 3, it jumps back to the loop, so it is not allowing to print that. Again 4 is printed. If it comes to 5, 5 may not be printed, because here it is if it is equal to 5, it comes out of the loop. It will print only 0, 1, 2 and 4. The same way here, for I is equal to in this range, you can print them 0 to 9. Here another one. Okay, I created a list of vowel letters. I say you go to that place and you print the values. Instead of that, you can arrange like this also. You can put, this is my list, I want to print the values. So what I say, okay, for I is equal to in this range 0 to 3 to 4. In this range, these values I want, not all the values. So in that range only 3 is here, so 3 will be printed. And the last topic is sorting. So sorting means arranging the values either in ascending or descending order for fast accessing. So for that we are using 2 functions over there, either sort we are using or sortate, and we will see what is the difference if you are using sort and if you are using sortate. For that I have created here a list, and I say okay, list dot sort. Here if I say list dot sort and print the values, the original values also will be changed. For example, see, it is sorted 1, 2, 3 to 10, they are sorted. Second time, if you are using this list, it will give you these values, not these values. In this order values, not in this order values, because the original list is changed. But if you are using the second function, which is sorted, this one if I am using, so the original list may not be changed. Only the list, the values will be changed in that we are sorted list and creating another list and put it in that. And see friends, here if you want to arrange the values in descending order, so we are using reverse and is equal to true. Here also you can put reverse is equal to true. By default it is false, that is why it is printing in ascending order. If you put true, so it is in descending order. So see, the values are in descending order, they are arranged. But see, the original list is not changed. The original list values are back to this form, because we have used here sorted, not sort. And here if we have the values in this form, like we have minus values and plus sign values are also there. If I am sorting them, what happens here? Okay, it will put 8 minus 8 in first position, minus 8, then minus 2, then 1, then 2. If I don't want, no, I don't want to be sorted according to their signs, but I want only absolute values, not the signs, only the values. So I say key is equal to absolute. If I remove this from here, this time see, minus 8 is first, then minus 2, because the smallest value here is minus 8, then minus 2, and 1, 2, like that it goes. But if I say okay, you put this, then it will be not considering the signs, it will consider only the values and it will sort the values. Hope you understood these things. In this tutorial we covered all these things.